Boys now and a little girl that we have to look after, and it's all about them. So our priority.
I just want people to see me as a hard-working footballer, someone that's passionate about the game, and someone that every time I stepped on the pitch, I've given everything that I have, because that's how I feel going into games.
Nothing is impossible. David Beckham, football story. There are times in life when you feel like you've let your people down and there's nothing you can do about it. But that doesn't mean you should just give up and surrender in front of the situation. These are the times when you actually stand up to the occasion and prove yourself to be worthy of everything. In the toughest of times, you just need to remind yourself that you live in a round world. So what goes around eventually comes around too. You can't stay in the pit of failures forever, because the circle will someday be complete and you'll achieve everything you've been wanting for so long. When you're trying to achieve big things in life, what makes it easier is support. If you have a group of very supportive and loving friends and family, then there really is nothing impossible, because they're always going to remind you that the sky's the limit and that you can achieve everything you've dreamt of. There will be times when you'll feel like your goal is unattainable, but those are the times when you also have to remind yourself that you're better than this, and there really is nothing that could take your spark away from you. If you really want to achieve the impossible things in life, you also need to be emotionally and mentally resilient. Achieving things like being a football star or being an A-list celebrity requires a lot of dedication, and if you're ready to make some sacrifices and commit 100% to the cause, then there really is not a word as impossible. People often work for money, but if you're not enjoying what you do, then it's going to be hard for you to stick to it in the long run. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe.
At the end of my career, that's how I look back on it and hope people will see me. Because I think over the years it's been, my life and my career. People have obviously looked at certain other things that have gone on throughout my career, and I think sometimes that's overshadowed what I've done on the pitch or what I've achieved on the pitch. And that's, as much as I say that doesn't hurt me, of course it does. I'm at the end of the day, I'm a footballer that has played for some of the biggest clubs in the world, played with some of the best players in the world, played under some of the biggest and best managers, and achieved almost everything in football. I think, of course it hurts when people not question it, but think about other things. And to come to the end of my career now and look back and say, I've achieved everything with every club that I've played for my country 115 times, been runner-up twice, World Player of the Year, to two amazing footballers. I'm very proud of it.
I think it's a combination of many things. The biggest thing is the support that I had from my parents. And that was 5 years ago now. But even in my Sunday League team, a manager called Stuart Underwood, who was like a sergeant major, and he insisted on every game that we turn up in shirt and tie. And that's one thing that kind of got installed in me from a very young age. But of course, hard work, something that I've always been about, and never giving up. There's times when throughout my career where you're all aware of, where I've made mistakes or I've done something that I shouldn't have done on the field, and those have impacted not just myself, but have impacted my family and my friends. And those are things that, if you think about them too much, they can affect you. But for me, to understand that the only reason there's certain things that happen throughout my career.
Still look back to '98, after the red card that I got against Argentina. What went on in my life and in my family's life after that, I think was very tough. It was probably the toughest moment in my career. I was having death threats. I never felt safe for 3.5 years. People used to turn around and they're saying that you've let your country down and you've let your family down, so how does that feel? I don't think I'd ever felt as alone as that as a person and as a footballer. It can knock a person down so much that they just go under. Outside pubs in London, there was effigies hung of me, and this was on the front of the newspaper. It's just something that sticks in my mind from that time. I'm trying to think what was said about me at the time. There was a headline of 10 lions, 1 stupid little boy.
It's still emotional, isn't it? It's still raw.
Yeah. This is a saying that I use all the time, and it's true. It is a round world. 98 was just before the World Cup, I was at the top, and then after the World Cup I was at the bottom. And then you work yourself back up. The upside for me was the Greece game.